Straight ahead on WBKB, the State Health Department extends the epidemic order.
Plus, the Secretary of State is speaking up after threats are made against her family, and Alcona County students are getting face-to-face learning time.
You are watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has extended for an additional 12 days the epidemic order that restricts indoor social gatherings and other group activities. Speaking to reporters Monday afternoon, Governor Gretchen Whitmer said progress has been made during the 3-week pause, but the additional 12 days will allow the department to determine the full impact of the Thanksgiving holiday on the spread of COVID-19 across Michigan.
We have not yet seen the full impact of activities around Thanksgiving on our cases and hospitalizations, and we're very worried that they could be significant impacts.
We'll keep existing measures in place through December 20th. And here are the latest numbers on COVID-19 in our coverage area. The state of Michigan reports 9,350 new cases since Sunday, with 93 new deaths. In Alpena County, there are 786 cases, 208 in Montmorency. Presque Isle County is reporting 334 cases. Iosco County has 785 cases, and Alcona County is reporting 221 cases.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says Saturday evening, dozens of armed people gathered outside her personal residence to protest the results of the November 3rd presidential election. Benson says she was with her 4-year-old son when people stood outside her home shouting obscenities and chanting into bullhorns. Benson is not the only government official to recently receive threats regarding the election.
Representative Cynthia Johnson shared voicemails containing death threats after last week's hearing with Rudy Giuliani. And Speaker Chatfield said that threats have been made against him and his family. This is unacceptable.
We reached out to state Republicans for comment, but they declined.
In other news, middle and high school students in Alcona County can now get some face-to-face learning time, even during remote learning hours. Alcona Community Schools is offering learning labs for 6th through 12th grade students. Eligible students can come to the high school and get extra help from district teachers. Staff say the learning labs were created for students to have a safe space to learn.
To come in, to just have a place to work, access Wi-Fi. For some students in our area, accessing strong internet is a challenge, and so we wanted to give them a way to access that.
Thomas says while their remote learning platform has worked out its problems, 6th through 12th grade Edgenuity students are also welcome. For some students, that's a challenge, and the amount of support that families are able to give really varies because they have jobs and other students that need their help, and a lot of other things going on. So we wanted to open it up and give another level of support. And for more information, you can visit alconaschools.net.
The Alpena Montmorency Alcona Educational Service plans its virtual reading intervention program known as STARS for kindergarten through 3rd graders. STARS is a program that identifies areas where K through 3rd graders need assistance. Coordinator of Early Learning and Instructional Services, Shelley Gohl, says Alpena Public Schools provide them with the student assessments. Gohl explains how the program works.
They identify students who may be at risk for reading, and from there we dig in a little bit deeper with those students who would be falling under a cut score. And then we deliver additional assessments to see, was it just a fluke on that test day, or are there some underlying gaps that need to be filled?
Gohl says over the last decade, the percentage of students qualifying for the special education program has dropped from 10 to 3%. Because of COVID-19, they have implemented virtual live instruction. Goal says switching to virtual learning wasn't a smooth process, but once they worked out the kinks, they found the kids were learning.
We definitely brainstormed, worked with the teachers, and what we're finding now after our first progress monitoring cycles, the kids are still learning. It's still working, and now that we've had to go to remote learning, we are finding that it's seamless.
Goal says to be a part of the STARS program, a child must be eligible. Eligibility is based on their assessment scores provided by the schools. Goal adds that the program's purpose is to make sure that each child is reading at grade level.
Well, Friends Together is offering sweet treats for the holiday. The cancer support nonprofit has teamed up with the Kettle Nation Popcorn Company for a weekend fundraiser. Anyone can drive through the Friends Together parking on Friday, December 18th to pick up a bag of kettle or caramel corn. All proceeds from the sale will benefit Friends Together.
The Alpena County Democratic Party's donation drive will continue this week. After calling for donation of diapers and wipes for the Alpena Baby Pantry last week, the party is asking for food donations now. Each item will go to the Alpena Community College's food pantry, and they will be collecting food until next Monday. For more information and to have items picked up, call 989-916-6499.
Very nice program, huh? Well, there is more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, gas prices are on the rise, and we'll tell you where they are the highest.
And here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with the first check of the weather. What's going on, Ellie?
Tyler, we've seen some clearing late in the day, so it was nice to see a little bit of afternoon sunshine before the sun set. And currently in Alpena, we have clear skies at 29 degrees, also clear in Oscoda at 28 degrees. You can kind of see here on the satellite imagery where there's a bit more cloud cover off to the west of our area. And in fact, it is cloudy in Gaylord with a temperature of 33 degrees. Tomorrow, temperatures are looking a little bit warmer than what we had today. Starting with this evening, we'll have temperatures in the middle 20s heading into the lower 20s overnight. Then morning temperatures will climb into the upper 20s, lower 30s before lunchtime. And then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll have highs near 38 degrees. That warming trend is going to continue until Wednesday. I'll let you know how warm the temperatures are going to get in the middle of the week. Also, when some rain and some snow chances could move into our area a bit later in the newscast.
Thanks, Ellie. Well, you may have noticed a slight increase in prices at the pump. According to AAA, gas prices in Michigan are up 9 cents throughout the state compared to last week. Michiganders are now paying an average of $2.04 a gallon for regular gas. This price is 3 cents more than this time last month, but still 55 cents cheaper than this time last year. Since mid-November, oil prices have steadily increased, contributing to the increases at the pumps. AAA says right now Traverse City and Flint have some of the cheapest gas prices in the state.
Well, in your Health Watch, protecting student athletes from the coronavirus, and more children are testing positive for COVID. Laura Podesta has some of the day's top health stories.
More than 1.3 million children have now tested positive for the coronavirus. The data, compiled by the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association, found the week ending November 26th saw the largest weekly increase in children's cases since the pandemic began. Children and teens should wear a face covering even when playing sports outdoors. That's the new recommendation from the American Academy of Pediatrics. It acknowledges that masks should not be worn during some competitions like gymnastics or wrestling because the covering could impair vision or become a choking hazard. And obesity rates may be the reason more Black women die of breast cancer. According to a new study published by the American Cancer Society, higher rates of obesity and other health conditions contribute to the 40% mortality gap between Black and white women. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned. Meteorologist Ellie Morrison is here with a look at our forecast. And Ellie, I hear you say temperatures are warming up actually a little bit.
Sherry, we're in for a stretch of some above normal temperatures as we go through the middle of the week. So by December standards, it's going to feel quite warm out there. Later in the week, we'll be talking about temperatures in the 40s. Currently, it's 27 degrees in Alpena, 26 degrees in Oscoda, 29 in Atlanta. Now that we've seen some clearing underway along with light winds, that's really allowing our temperatures to drop off pretty noticeably this evening. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour in Alpena. The winds have become calm in Oscoda and only 3 miles per hour in Atlanta. We have clear skies with a temperature of 27 degrees in Alpena. Light winds out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour and relative humidity checking in at 88%. There's a lot of cloud cover over the Midwest, and all of this cloud cover extends towards areas of western Minnesota down into central Iowa and central Missouri as well. You can kind of see here where that back edge of the cloud cover is. So we're in for a pretty cloudy stretch. There might be the odd hint of sunshine that develops at some point tomorrow or Wednesday, but overall we will be looking at more clouds than sun. The weather will be staying dry for the next several days, and we should see some clearing tonight, some decreasing cloud cover continuing, although the clearing will not last long. By the late morning tomorrow, we have some periods of cloud cover that will be rolling in. So expect mostly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow. Wednesday overall is looking mostly cloudy. Again, there might be just the odd break of some sunshine in between the clouds, and we stay quiet through Thursday, but during the end of the week, we'll find this quiet pattern coming to an end. For tonight, low temperatures near 23 degrees in Alpena, also 23 in Oscoda, 21 overnight in Mayo, 22 in Atlanta, with mostly clear skies. It'll make for some good stargazing weather. Definitely need to bundle up, though. Jupiter and Saturn most visible in the early part of the evening, looking toward the south. Mars becomes most visible at 8:30 p.m. and Venus, peak viewing for that is in the early morning at 7:30 a.m. looking toward the southeast. Tomorrow we'll see mostly cloudy skies across the area with highs near 38 degrees in Alpena, 37 degrees in Oscoda, 39 degrees in Onaway, and winds becoming out of the southwest about 10 miles per hour. So here's the temperature trend over the next few days. Upper 30s tomorrow. Then our temperatures will go above 40 degrees on Wednesday with highs in the lower 40s for Wednesday and Thursday. Those temperatures will be running about close to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. We will hang on to lower 40s on Friday, even close to the 40-degree mark on Saturday. So even with some wet weather moving in, we are going to have those above normal temperatures continuing late in the week. For tomorrow, 38 degrees, mostly cloudy, a little bit warmer on Wednesday. We'll be starting off in the early morning with temperatures in the lower 30s, highs near 43 degrees. Remaining warm on Thursday with quiet weather, mostly cloudy, highs near 43 degrees. Then I'll be watching a storm system moving in from the south, and the exact path of the storm system will determine how much rain we get or how much snow we get in the second half of the weekend, and also how warm we could get over the weekend. For now, the forecast is looking like lower 40s for high temperatures Friday and Saturday, a chance of rain moving in late Friday, periods of rain continuing into Saturday. Then at this point, temperatures will likely get cold enough into Saturday evening that we could see a change over to snow. Sunday and Monday definitely looking colder with highs in the lower 30s. And today's photo was sent in by Emily Lozen. In this photo, we can see the holiday lights taken in the evening at Alpena's Culligan Plaza. You can even see the city's Christmas tree in the back left corner and some additional shining displays on the street lights in the center of the image. Thank you, Emily, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. With those warm temperatures, not feeling very Christmas-like in our forecast with 40s in there for the middle of the week.
Well, you said the wet temperature, the snow could make it feel a little Christmas-like, but maybe tomorrow we'll get a picture of a planet in our email.
Possibly, if we get some good stargazing shots from the clearing that's underway tonight. So tonight, enjoy the clear sky. There's a lot of cloud cover, but at least staying dry into the middle of the week.
Nice. And sports is coming up next, but first we're going to kick it to Jake Vanderbrook with a preview. Jake?
Hey Tyler, what's happening? The Michigan High School Athletic Association, they're not pleased with Governor Gretchen Whitmer's announcement on extending the pause in activities. More on that. And believe, and did I say it? Believe. That's what Darrell Bevel did in his coaching debut as the Lions won a hard-fought game down in Chicago last Sunday. I'll break down the 3 plays that guided them to victory up next in sports. Earlier in our newscast, we mentioned that the Michigan State Health Department and Human Services has extended the epidemic order for an additional 12 days, just 2 days before the epidemic order was set to expire. Mark Uhl, the executive director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, wasn't too pleased with the announcement because they made a detailed plan to both Governor Whitmer and to the MDHHS, saying that fall tournaments would proceed this month without spectators and that winter sports would resume. This afternoon, he released a statement saying, quote, "We realize the crisis our medical caregivers and first responders are navigating, and we understand the need to continue the pause. While we are disappointed in today's announcement, we will continue to look forward as we remain committed to play 3 sports seasons to their conclusions," end quote. The council will meet this Wednesday to discuss the next steps for fall tournaments and winter sports. And yeah, speaking of those changes, the Michigan State men's ice hockey team, those 2-game series against Wisconsin will not be played this week. The 2-game series will be rescheduled. This is the first time ever a Big Ten hockey game has been postponed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The news was released earlier this morning following a positive COVID-19 test within the Wisconsin program. Medical officials from both Michigan State and Wisconsin agreed that they would move the series to another week. No word on that when that's going to happen. For head coach Dan Cole, he says that it's just a situation that they'll have to deal with and move on.
The situation we're all in right now, just everybody, wanting to be cautious and do the right things. Unfortunate, but like I said, we'll deal with it and we'll move on. We'll have a real good week of practice and we have finals and then head to Notre Dame.
Yeah, and that 2-game series against Notre Dame will start on December 19th. Sticking with the Spartans, Monday, the Associated Press releases their top 25 rankings in men's college basketball, and the Spartans climb up to the 4th-ranked team in the country. You would think the Spartans would stay put with their lack of consistency, but the AP thought otherwise. But throughout this past week, head coach Tom Izzo is really liking what he's seeing from Rocket Watts, and the numbers show it. He's averaging over 13 points along with 4 assists per game. Watts reveals that he's just been watching a lot of Cassius Winston film so that he can be a better player game in and game out.
I feel real good that coaches say that. I just try to come out and just feed my guys, give them the ball. Because, when everybody else eat, it feel good. I just come in and watch a lot of film, on Cassius and see the spots that people be open, players be open on. So, that's just my job, and I'm basically feeling like I'm doing great at it right now.
While the Spartans climb up in the poll for the 2nd week in a row, the Wolverines, they're just shy of 1. Both teams return to the hardwood this Wednesday. Darrell Bevell earned his first win as the Lions' interim head coach on Sunday as they went on to beat the Chicago Bears 34-30. And how many wins did Matt Patricia have against the Bears? Anyone? This should help. How about a big fat 0? So Bevell has already done something Patricia couldn't do. So even though the Lions defense allowed 30 points, the Lions needed just 3 plays to turn it around. Number 1, Romeo Okwara strip sack fumble on Mitchell Trubisky, which led to excellent field position for the Lions to get set up in the red zone. 2, this touchdown run from Adrian Peterson to give them a 4-point lead. And lastly, this huge stop on 4th and 1, where the Bears were just inches away from moving the chains. But no. After the game, Bevell says that he has a lot of faith in his guys, and he needs to keep that faith down the stretch.
It was a great job by these guys of believing, from the moment we started till the end. If I'm gonna lead these guys, I got to have that same belief. I believe in these guys. I believe in what we're trying to do, and it goes to them.
At halftime, we just kind of settled down a lot, and we came out in the second half playing pretty decent as a defense. Definitely slowed down the run game a little more in the second half, and we just kind of started playing like ourselves, and we were able to make a couple plays at the end there.
Now that's how you respond. With the victory, the Lions improved to 5-7 on the season. And I'm going to say it, they're just a game back from the final wild card spot. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Ceremonies in Hawaii took place to honor the victims of Pearl Harbor in 1941. Today marks the 79th anniversary of the attacks on Pearl Harbor Naval Base in Honolulu, Hawaii. The surprise attack from Japan took 2,403 American lives, and thousands more were wounded. The next day, Congress declared war on Japan, a war that would last until the summer of 1945. President at the time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, proclaimed December 7th, 1941, as a day that would live in infamy. You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or be sure to check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And that's all we have for you this evening. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 for more. Have a great evening.